Raider Nation, what's going on? This is the Raiders Report. My name is Mitchell Renz. Let's get into some high-quality Raiders news. The first one I got for you guys coming up on the board, and I think it's a good one. Rich Gannon, he's joining the broadcast team, and I like to see this because, well, once a Raider, always a Raider, and I think it's cool when a guy can come over and ultimately join the team. So, this year the Oakland Raiders are making plenty of changes to their broadcast team, and that also extends to the preseason television booth. Gannon, there's no stranger to the TV booth. He's been calling NFL regular season games for CBS since 2005, and Gannon hosted a national radio show on SiriusXM. Gannon said, "I'm really looking forward to returning to Oakland to join my friends Beth and Matt in the broadcast booth, and as we call Raider preseason games. It's both an honor and a privilege to join Beth and Matt, and we'll be associated with one of the finest organizations in all of professional sports. I'm also looking forward to Coach Jon Gruden's return to the sidelines and the passion, energy, and professionalism which he will bring to all of Raider Nation." Raider Nation, I'll be honest, guys. I screwed up last week. I called Derek Carr, David Carr, and I want to make a public apology to you, CJ Raider. I told you I'm a man of my word. So, I think probably one of my favorite ones that I saw was from Saul. He said that I should have death by punishment. Hopefully that's a little bit not what everybody wants to see. And I think it's funny because y'all make me crack up, Raider Nation, which I really appreciate. And then also another great one from Oregon Poop. Yeah, that's actually his name. Kind of a shitty YouTube name, but I won't be the judge of that. And if you want to send me a Raiderette outfit, I promise you I will wear one on screen. Don't challenge me. Raider Nation also, what isn't a shitty channel is ours, so please subscribe below. We would definitely appreciate that. All right, let's get to back some news. Awesome. Jon Gruden, he threw a party, and this is not just a normal party. This is a rager. I mean, would you guys party with me? I would. I mean, I would definitely appreciate you guys coming to Chat Sports. We have kegs. Wouldn't mind seeing Gruden do a keg stand. That'd be pretty lit. So, Gruden called for a fan appreciation day, well over 500 fans showed. Each one received free entry, food, drink, and a pep rally from Gruden that was lit AF. But the important question I want to know is, if we were at a party, what would you guys want to drink? Because for me personally, I love having a good time, and ultimately I think if we can all sit down and have a good time together, that'd be awesome. So what is your drink of choice? Are you a beer guy? I love craft beer. If you're a liquor person, maybe a like there for liquor. If you like wine, wow face, or if you're like my roommate Cam, maybe just a laughing face for some water. For me, though, I'm throwing up a heart. I'm a beer guy, no doubt about it. All right, next bit of news I got for you guys coming up on the board. Greg Papa addressed his removal. So he's been with the Oakland Raiders for the last 21 years, and, well, he was not too happy, to say the least. Former Raiders announcer Greg Papa publicly addressed his removal from that role for the first time Monday, debating a rift with team owner Mark Davis going back several years. He discussed it Monday on his weekday show on 95.7 FM. Papa said the genesis of that decision was from an episode of his show from 2015 in which he criticized the Raiders and Davis for interviewing Mike Shanahan, who was loathed by the late owner Al Davis for their open-headed coaching position. The Raiders ultimately hired Jack Del Rio as head coach, but Papa said that Mike Davis hasn't forgiven him for the criticism and that relationship remained icy for the past years. This is what he had to say. "As the owner of the team, I understand the way he felt," Papa said. "But for him, to me, I didn't want to say I'm sorry. I'm not sorry to this day. And I lost my job that I did for over 21 years at the highest level, a job that I love beyond any job that I've ever had." Raider Nation, I love my job because it's freaking awesome. I get to talk about the Raiders. And you should follow me on Twitter at MitchellRenz365. And you guys should subscribe to our awesome YouTube channel so you can see me exactly every week because I love talking about the Raiders. If you're new to the show, those are my news. And now I'm going to get into some rumors. So you need to understand my Raiders rumor scale. 0 Chucky heads, tuck rule, tuck that. That rumor is not going to happen. 1 Chucky head, small shred of truth, 25% chance of happening. 2 Chucky heads, people are talking 50-50, a coin flip. 3 Chucky heads, pretty likely 75% chance happening. And then 4 Chucky heads, believe it, baby, 100% chance this rumor is going to happen. All right, let's get into some of those rumors. Jon Gruden, did he say that Khalil Mack will be back this year? I'm going to give this one 4 Chucky heads, believe it, baby. As stated above, Gruden threw a banger of a party. And, Mom, if you're watching, a banger is a slang term for a really big party. When Gruden arrived to the party, he took to the stage and vowed to get star defensive end Khalil Mack back with the team amid his contract holdout. And, well, Mack is an absolute monster who has had 36.5 sacks over the last 3 years, and he's a big part of the reason why the Raiders have had success. Now, fans started cheering Chucky, Chucky, Chucky. And since this is 4 Chucky heads, why not one more Chucky? Because they were pumped up, obviously, to get their guy Mack. All right, next one I got coming up on the board, Marshawn Lynch. Is he going to have over 1,100 rushing yards? I'm going to give this one Chucky head, small shred of truth. Now, this is just one of those for me. Fansided wrote a bold predictions article which had Marshawn Lynch with over 1,100 rushing yards in 2018. For me, I don't really know if I'm all aboard. So at the end of last season, Marshawn Lynch was beginning to look more like his old self. He rushed for 434 yards in his last 5 games, which, was nearly half of his 891 season total. And I understand he wants to pound the rock, and I understand the O-line has gotten better, and the team will be better. But ultimately, I don't know if I can believe in Marshawn Lynch getting over 1,100 yards. I mean, if you're just looking at his last 5 years of life, not just football play. 2017, 891 yards. 2016, he retired. And then, 2015, only 417. Sure, 2014 and 13, he had over 1,100 yards. But are we really confident in that? I'm not saying he can't do it. I just think it's not very likely. But the show isn't just about me. I want to know from you guys. Over or under 1,100 rushing yards for Marshawn Lynch in 2018. If you're on YouTube, comment below. If you're on Facebook, give me a heart for over or a like for under. Marshawn Lynch, 1,100 rushing yards for 2018. All right, next rumor coming up on the board. Jon Gruden, is he going to win Coach of the Year? This is another one from Fansided. I'm going to give this one 2 Chucky heads. People are talking. Now, if there's one thing I know about the NFL, they love a good storyline. And a lot of times awards are based on not only performance, but that storyline that's created during the performance. And no one is set up better to achieve both than Jon Gruden. Gruden's return will already be one of the biggest stories in the league, so imagine what will happen when he turns the Raiders around. Last year, Coach of the Year was Sean McVay in his first season with the Rams. I'm just saying, maybe the stars are aligning for Jon Gruden to win Coach of the Year. Next rumor I got for you guys coming up on the board is LeVeon Bell going to be a Raider in 2019. Find out from a word of our sponsor, Mizzen and Main. I'm going to give this one 2 Chucky heads. People are talking. And who are the people that are talking? It's our guys here at Chat Sports. So, Le'Veon Bell's time with the Pittsburgh Steelers is likely over, so where will he sign in 2019 NFL free agency? Chat Sports NFL Daily host Tom Downey and Cam Rogers took you through 5 NFL teams that could sign Bell in 2019. The top teams on that list, it was the Oakland Raiders. They had the Oakland Raiders as the top team on that list. And what's ultimately is this going to come down to? It's probably going to come down to some money because Le'Veon wants to get paid, and the Steelers just don't want to pay him. And the Steelers, or the Raiders on that side, they're going to be able to pay him. And I believe they're going to have around maybe like $44 million. But here are the highest paid running backs in terms of guaranteed money. Todd Gurley just got paid a few hours ago, so he's top on that list. And you're looking at guys like Fournette, Zeke, Freeman, and LaShawn McCoy. Bell's going to be up there. He's probably going to be around Gurley. And will the Raiders be able to get him? I think it's interesting, but 2 Chucky heads for Bell coming to the Raiders next year. Next one I got for you guys coming up on the board, Earl Thomas. Is he going to be an Oakland Raider? This one is really, really interesting. I'm going to give this one 2 Chucky heads, though. People are talking. Now, Earl Thomas to the Raiders is interesting, but just a few hours ago, NBC radio host tweeted, I'm told Earl Thomas went to the Raiders owner, Mark Davis, in Vegas and told him to come get me. Seriously, make that the Cowboys and the Raiders he's willing to play for. Thomas plans to sell his Seattle home. That is absolutely mind-blowing to me, and it's really exciting to see. I mean, imagine Earl Thomas in the silver and black. That would be awesome. But I want to know from you guys, would you want to see Earl Thomas on the Raiders? If you're on YouTube, comment yes or no. And if you're on Facebook, give me a heart for yes and give me a like for no. Earl Thomas to the Raiders. Makes me tingle, that's for sure. All right, next one. Next rumor I got. Breeland, is he going to be signing with the Raiders? I'm going to give this one Chucky head, small shred of truth. Now, I mentioned Breeland last week as a potential target, and it seems maybe the Raiders started to watch my show. I mean, I don't blame them. I am the #1 show on YouTube. Humble brag there. Now, the Oakland Raiders continue to look to bolster their defensive secondary and recently had Bashaud Breeland in for a visit on Sunday and Monday. The hope was that they could sign Breeland to a deal for the 2018 season. In March, Breeland signed a 3-year contract with the Carolina Panthers, which included $11 million in guaranteed money. That contract became void when he cut his foot in the Dominican Republic, and he ended up failing his physical. Now, while the hope was the Raiders could ink Breeland on Monday, he left the facility without a deal in place. Breeland is now headed to visit the Chiefs, which now makes it a little bit less likely that he's ever going to be a Raider, which is why it's one Chucky Head. Raider Nation, what's going on? My name is Mitchell Renz. Please follow me on Twitter at MitchellRenz365. And why don't you guys subscribe to our YouTube channel, because that's also pretty lit AF.